Reflecting on a presentation that Chris Ortwine made 3 years ago, wherein she identified what benefit the borough has derived from its association with the Newtown Corporation. In broadly defined benefit, it would include historic preservation as one of its elements, I'm sure. It's my understanding from that presentation that the borough, during the course of its relationship with the Newtown Corporation, benefited just under $1 million worth of improvements, however you want to categorize them, over the life of the corporation.
Correct.
It just seems to me that we're in a trough right now, and we can't find our way home. So it seems to me that the mission of the Newtown Corporation with respect to historic preservation and with respect to the resolution has been more than adequately carried out over that period of time.
Over the previous 5 years, I would 100% agree with you, Bob. All the things that were done here in the borough from Newtown Corporation have been more than what has been done, and the greatest amount of benefit has come from the grants and aids and money that has been brought into Newtown Borough for the streetlights, for the things that were done on State Street as far as the grants and for historic review of the buildings that were on State Street, and all those things. That $1 million that was approximately $1 million that was put forth out there has been a tremendous asset. This past year, as I said, it's been a difficult year for Newtown Corporation, and I think what we need to do is to get ourselves on a firm footing before we can move forward. And I'm not defending what we're doing, but we need to get ourselves and our own house in order before we can step outside and look at what needs to be done from that standpoint.
Well, as one of the borough representatives on the board, what is your considered opinion about the continued relationship of the borough with the Newtown Corporation?
I think given the potential for Newtown Corporation to present itself as a viable organization for Newtown Borough and Newtown Township with the appropriate leadership and government input into that organization, I think it can be a very, very worthwhile organization. Right now, we are in flux. We need to get our house in order. We need to get our bylaws straight. We need to get our budgetary items straight. And once we do that, I think we will be in a better position to address the concerns of the borough and the township to make this organization work to the best of both borough and township. That's my personal opinion.
Well, how did you feel about the article that was in this week's Courier Times that Borough Council has threatened to rescind the liquor license resolution? How do you feel about that as a member of the Newtown Corporation and the borough's representative? I mean, I don't think from my perspective, that was really our intent to threaten, but nonetheless, that's how it's come out in the press. Well, and it would seem to me that it would serve no purpose for us as a council to threaten anyone to do anything unless it made good sense. And I'm not hearing from you that you think it makes good sense to pull this resolution or amend this resolution in light of your comments about the problems we've had over the last 12 months, that you feel it would be more appropriate for us to continue to try and work through and resolve those issues. The article also mentioned from Mr. Warren's perspective, and I don't think from council's perspective, that there was a concern for the liability that it might be incurred by council or by the borough if the liquor license continued for their, I guess, up-and-coming Brewfest event, and they had an event this past summer out in Lower Makefield or something like that. I don't know that there's an attendant liability to this resolution, and I would only ask our solicitor to comment about that. I'm not asking you to comment about that. But it seems to me that we'd be making a mistake if we threw the baby out with the bathwater.
It's a very pointed question, Bob, and it's very direct to what the basic nature of Newtown Corporation is. Right now, the only true fundraising aspect of Newtown Corporation is either the Brewfest or the Music Fest, which they had out there. Those are the two sole fundraising activities that Newtown Corporation has to generate any income. From that standpoint, they are both alcohol related. From the second point, they are both related directly to the resolution that you have proposed and brought into question at this time. Borough Council needs to look at what it needs to do in order to make itself viable for itself. Newtown Corporation needs to look at what it needs to do in order to make itself a viable organization also. It's the final thing that the borough has hold over Newtown Corporation in regards to its fundraising activities. Newtown Corporation could not get a liquor license on its own unless it has the extent of either the borough or the township to bring forth these licenses from the LCB. From that standpoint, if the funding is withdrawn because the borough does what it has proposed, Newtown Corporation will not last very long. From that standpoint, I do not think it is the right way to go, even though I do not agree with all of the things that are done within the corporation. Like so many other people that sit on boards, you have to agree with the majority of the things that the organization does in order to make it work. I've been a supporter of Newtown Corporation. I've been a dissenter of Newtown Corporation, and I've worked to try to make it work. But I think the borough has to decide where it stands on Newtown Corporation and either allow it to flourish and continue or to cut off its head and, allow it to die.
Do you think there's been enough interaction between the borough and the township discussing the housekeeping issues, as I think you characterized them? Have we done the right thing, or are we doing the wrong thing because we're talking at each other and not to each other?
I think that is an accurate assumption, yes.
Thank you.
I have a question, Corky.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that if the resolution was pulled, the only option that the Newtown Corporation would have for their upcoming event would be the township to support a resolution. Would the Newtown Corporation then assume that the borough is walking away from the corporation if that is done?
I can't speak for the chairman. I can't speak for the whole organization. I can only speak for myself. In that light, I would think that, yes, Newtown, it would be considered as the Newtown Borough is, severing all of its final ties, because the Newtown Corporation did cut its ties with Newtown Borough as well as Newtown Township in the resolution that they did with their bylaws. So the last thing that you all have in conjunction with Newtown Corporation at this point in time is solely this resolution. As far as whether it could be amended to get it done for the Brewfest, I have no idea. I don't know what the status is. I know that the permit has been issued for Brewfest, and it has listed where it's being held, and it is directly relation to the previous applications that have been made before the LCB, citing that resolution that was done by Newtown Borough.
Thank you.
Look perplexed. Does that mean I'm going to get a question?
No, actually, I don't know if the question's for you or not. It's when I look at the resolution from 2006, the section that jumps out at me is Newtown Borough officially recognizes that a purpose of the joint downtown Newtown Corporation is to protect the architectural heritage of Newtown Borough. And my understanding is that that was done in relationship to the Main Streets program. That was a big component of the Main Streets program.
Correct.
And so I guess I'm confused on a couple levels. One is the fact that the Newtown Corporation is declaring independence, but yet there is this connection to us, and the fact that we haven't, at least since 2008, had a grant that was approved. So 2009 and 2010, so far, no grants associated with this clause in this resolution have been, my understanding, have been approved. So it's been,
To my knowledge, since 2008, there have been no funds put forth, to my knowledge,
right.
For anything historically or architecturally preservation or anything else from that standpoint. As I stated, the last one that was done was in 2010 because it was a holdover from 2009 for the roof line and the construction of a new roof and overhang over the law offices on State Street.